Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I've created magic and miracles in order to help people of all walks of life all around the world achieve their manifestation goals. True story. All the information from me is below. If you'd like to be in coaching with me, please understand that the first 1 hour session is mandatory. We discuss during this 1 hour how I can be of help, what's been going on. I definitely give you advice. And if we feel the chemistry is right between the two of us, you are very much expected to sign up within the 24-hour time frame, as it were, for the signature coaching package. This is how I start out everybody in my coaching, especially if you're brand new. It's a very intense coaching package, but this is how you will attack your old system, your old belief program, okay, which is a must do if you are to quantum leap to a higher timeline, which is what you want to do, irregardless of what it is you're working on, whether that's SP, money, career, business, what have you. I don't just coach in SP issues. It's usually all encompassing, okay? If your self-esteem is out of whack, it usually means a lot of things are out of whack. So all the info for that is below. I do recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me. Now, sometimes I start out with the signature coaching package, which is 3 times per week. And then if I feel we both feel that you don't really need 3 times per week, I can downgrade you to 2 times per week. But it goes case by case. Some people really do need this intense of an approach for 2 to 3 months and then downgrade and then wean off. Okay, so what most people do is stay with me 2 to 3 months, sometimes 4 or 5. Okay, and then take a break, digest everything they've processed, everything they've learned, all the information, all the tools. It does take time to digest this information. And then they come back to me, like, let's just say 6 months down the road or a year down the road. But at that point, they're a completely different person. If they've done the due diligence, if they follow through with everything I've taught them, everything that we've discussed. All right. It doesn't exist that you show up and you do what I suggest. I never can tell you what to do in that sense. But if you do what I suggest and you follow through and you're diligent, it doesn't exist that you're not going to be successful. But I do, unlike other coaches, I do demand quite a bit from my clients because I'm on your side. I don't want you to just spend money endlessly. I want you to get in, do what you need to do, understand what you need to understand, and get on with your life in that sense. Okay. I am not whatsoever interested to keep you in my coaching longer than I have to. I really have no interest for that. Okay. So, in other with other coaching packages, it's the same coaching program, just done differently. Text based package, which is a pocket coach, is what I called it, and the audio exchange. Obviously, the audio exchange is self-explanatory. We exchange audios, but most people derive the most benefit from the one-on-one sessions. All right. So what you should definitely investigate and look into is to join my book club. Okay. And if you cannot come into coaching, all right, this is in addition to, because I no longer record material for my channel. And this is another level material that is going to go into my book. And you'll be ever so wise to sign up for this membership. It's $100 right now per month. I will definitely augment it because it's 12 audios per month. Okay, 3 times per week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And the other must do package is the signature energy course. Right now at 1250 will definitely go up to at least 1550, because what it actually turned out to be is 30 minutes to an hour each audio, and there are 15 of them. 2 of them are meditations, granted, but the 13 other audios are 30 to an hour long audios, and there's so much information there. We cover energy work, obviously, and of course, in every kind of circumstance, God state, meditation, morning routine, magic spells, what have you. And the two meditations are the Golden Buddha meditation as well as the healing meditation. So that package is a wonder. Okay, so if you do nothing else, go ahead and offer that to yourself. There are payment links as well for everything I've just mentioned, especially if you sign up for the signature coaching program and you want to pay all 3 months together. There's a discount. Okay, I've talked about it in my audio, but I'm going to talk about it again. My a month in coaching with me for the signature is 32.50. If you get all 3 months, it's at 29.50. It's as if you pay 29.50. Okay, and there's a link for installments for that as well. So if you have any questions about anything that I just said, please don't hesitate to email me. Thank you. All right. So today's live is about bringing back your SP, of course, and obviously one on one, kind of like a light retouch. Is now that I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of people on YouTube, and I've been a coach for 10 years for those who are new, but the last three on YouTube, and it's been very eventful. I want to say this. I feel like people are in different stages when they're bringing back their SP. Some are, in the beginning of my journey on YouTube, especially, I've encountered those people quite a bit. Like, really hysterical, really desperate, really, it's SOS 911. I need to have an answer now. Okay, this kind of like emergency mode where something just happened, the person is triggered, and they literally, I've gotten emails from people who were like, help me now. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? You're just emailing me. And this person would continue emailing me, like 15 emails I would get in one evening, and I don't know this person. So just kind of like to illustrate the kind of hysteria that's present with people who I understand are very triggered, and I understand are looking for the answers, and I understand, the desperation. I've been there, okay? But it's kind of like a real misunderstanding of what should occur. The number one thing that everybody should understand, that this SP isn't going anywhere. This is not an emergency. So you really need to calm the fuck down, okay? I don't care what has happened. I don't care what you think the implications of this is. I don't care how old you are, with all due respect. Nothing is an emergency. This SP isn't going any fucking where. Okay. Even if they do get married to somebody else, it's still fixable. I've done with these cases in my practice. I've done with these cases in my own personal life, for Christ's sake. So it's, which stage are you in? I don't want to, I'm going to straight out tell you, I don't want to work with people who are hysterical. I think even to be in my coaching, you need to really be calm and understand. I understand you're triggered. I understand you're crying. I understand emotion. I get that. But if you're one of these people who has got to have the answer like in 3 seconds, come on and let's go, and surface level bullshit, you can go to another coach. Please just, spare both of us the frustration, because I will help you a lot quicker, and this can happen and turn around a lot quicker. But if you're going to come in with your energy of desperation and on top of it hysteria, like, forget it. I'm not gonna be able to help you. Okay, maybe somebody else, like I said. So even to come into my coaching, you need to calm down. You need to drink some chamomile tea, and you need to understand this is not the end of, your life or whatever. This is not the end of this situation. This is not the end of anything. That you're interpreting it this way is what we need to look at. Okay, everything is mind. And if right now you feel down, you're desperate, you feel all these things, maybe you're not hysterical, maybe it's not visible to the public or external, but inside you feel this way. It understand this is only because you're interpreting the situation in a negative manner. That's it. Okay. And if you were to be able to I know this is easier said than done, which is why coaching exists. All right. And this is why I offer coaching. But it's if you were to be able to reinterpret the situation in one day, which with minor things, you are able to do it. Not with SP, perhaps this has been a big subject, all your life. If you're able to reinterpret the situation in one day and get on the train therefore, and then of this other timeline, the situation goes away like this, and you're able to join that other timeline in which things happen completely different. Now, the other thing obviously follows, if you're not going to come into coaching, then I want you to really just examine, like, um are you digging into your past, or are you doing it surface level? Are you accepting responsibility, not blame, but responsibility for this creation, or do you think it's an attack on you? Because most people think that it's like it's an attack, all right? And again, I understand it can feel this way temporarily, though, like for a day, okay, for an hour or whatever, or maybe for a week, whatever. But that's it. After that, let's think about it. Let's learn from it, and let's grow from it. Okay. I created it. Why did I create this? Obviously, my self esteem isn't up to par. First of all, I can almost guarantee that if I took your situation apart, me coming from a very calm position versus you being all over the place, as an example, we would have completely different interpretations of the story. And I would be able, like, if you and I, we were to switch places, I would fix your situation in a day. Okay. But you're not me and I'm not you. So you're going to have to ask yourself, why am I reacting this way and not another way? This only means that I am considering myself insignificant. This is the only reason you would react negatively. If your SP up and leaves, if your SP chooses a third party, if your SP whatever goes to this than any other, your reaction, your overreaction now, because it really is overreaction. I gotta be straight with you here, okay? Nothing is that important that you should lose your cool over anything or anybody. And again, inside, I understand it hurts. Like, you're a human being, of course it fucking hurts. But there's a way to deal with pain, and for how long before you transform it? Okay. So you be much better off investigating how I created it. What triggered this? Why is my self-esteem not up to par? Why am I deducting something negative from the situation? 10 times out of 10 is because you're not thinking highly of yourself. And 10 times out of 10, it's like this was coming for a long, long time. Like, this situation is not a surprise. It's been building up for quite some time. It's very useful, therefore, to take inventory and just think of what kinds of things you entertained right before the separation happened, the yet another, whatever, I don't know, third party happened, whatever the situation is right now. This is not the first case. There've been other cases, I guarantee it, because I've lived it as well, as I said. Okay. So to break the cycle, don't you think then you should really investigate, why am I making the same pattern in my life? The same choices, the same outcomes are occurring. Okay. Who convinced me early on that my self-esteem is non-existent? Who convinced me that I'm not valuable? Who convinced me that I am second best, if that? Okay. And dig into this mentality, because again, if you can shift the perspective on the situation will change. So now, reinterpretation then will come with a whole other set of circumstances and a timeline. But for you to be able to hold on to this new timeline, you are going to have to part with the way that you used to react to things before. Okay, you're going to it doesn't exist that you remain the same person, that you react the same way, that you think the same things, you eat the same foods even. Okay, and the same day happens day after day after day, and you do the same exact things, and things change. Right, it's like Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing things the same way and expecting a different outcome. So it equals then that you are going to have to change your mind. You don't have to change your name. You don't have to change maybe your clothes. You don't have to change. You're happy with them, but you're going to have to change the mind. The mindset has to be different going into the situation. You're going to have to cool off. And what I recommend, don't be so scared of separation. It's a healthy thing, in my opinion. You're not going to lose that fucking SP. If anything, listen, it's like this. If you can calm the fuck down, and let's just say, as an example, they're telling you, I'm leaving you. If you can muster up and say to them, go ahead, it's fine with me. Whereas before you would fall the fuck apart, your mascara would be running down your face, and there would be hysterics in the house. Just tell them, go ahead. That's fine with me. I don't have any problem. You would have this SP in 3 seconds back. They'll be like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Do you have temperature? Like, are you feeling okay? Just because you got your confidence back. And in the beginning, it's fake it till you make it. Okay. So the sooner you are calming the fuck down and start reacting differently, like before, do you understand? This version of SP showed up so they can trigger the shit out of you, so they can teach you a lesson. Hey, darling, your self esteem is in the motherfucking toilet. When are you going to go fish it out already? Because there's nothing wrong with you. On the surface, there is absolutely your beauty. I've met a lot of you. Okay, I know the stats. So fucking beautiful, so talented, so mesmerizing, so inspiring, but inside your self esteem is in the fucking toilet. That's the work. Reinterpretation comes from that. If I am a different person with a new set of rules for myself, with a new way of appreciating self, I react to things differently. It's not a measure of me how somebody else chooses to act. How I choose to act is a different story. So you see, the same set of circumstances can show up to the new you who interprets things completely differently, and you'd be unbothered. You'd be like, okay. And the situation has no choice but to change in no time. And however long it's going to take you to really not react and mean it. And I know you hear this all day long, but to actually not be moved by it, to be so convinced that you belong in another timeline where your SP is in a different way completely. You've redesigned your own interpretations. Now you're interpreting things differently. Obviously, if you are different, your SP is different. Okay. So don't be afraid of separation. It's a chance for you to reinterpret things. If you've been interpreting the same situation in the same way, time to take a break. Don't be afraid of it. Again, they're not going to go anywhere. In fact, use this to your benefit. If before you like really needed to know every 5 minutes where they are and look them up on social media, do not do that anymore. Do not do that ever. Okay? When you're trying too hard, when you're desperate, they can feel it even energetically. That you're looking them up on social media and you're spying on them and doing all this bullshit. Like, they might not know it factually, they know it energetically. Okay. If you're all about this person, that was the other thing I really wanted to say. If you're all about this person, you've got nothing else going on in your life that is more important than this person, you're in deep doo doo. I want to say this to you right now. right? Like, you don't have to become an entrepreneur, you don't have to start a company, but you got to get a life. Okay? You got to get a full life doing you, making you magnetic. What's going on with you? If I put you in the room and I start asking you questions, how is your life going? How are you building up your magnetism? In other words, would somebody be into, like, a brand new person? How would you talk to them? Is there anything interesting going on in your life? Start with that. Okay. Anything to build your self esteem, anything at all, anything that pleases you, of course, but anything to augment your magnetism, because this will help you to interpret things in the way that you're actually supposed to, as a golden Buddha would. You would not interpret this situation with your SP, even if they left with a third party and told you, I don't love you anymore, I'm going to marry her, or I'm going to marry him. You would not interpret this situation as something that is against you. Okay? Never would you do that. Guys, thumb up the video if you're getting anything out of it. So, take that time away from your SP, even if it's a month, 2 months, whatever, and build your core up, build your magnetism up, build your business up. If it's a business, build whatever. Come into coaching with me if you can do that. But whatever it is you do, start exercising, get into cooking class, do something to improve your life, to not be the same fucking person. The same person, this got you here in this kind of situation where you think you are a nobody. Okay, the circumstances reflect back to you that you don't think highly of yourself. It's time to get to work on your self-esteem. There's nothing else that's going to fish you out of there. Okay, so when you're in this position, when you're no longer triggered by the situation, and in fact you show up like a queen or a king, owning your life. Okay, because most of the people, here's the deal, right? I'm not so sure that you're upset about your SP situation so much versus your own living situation and your life, because in most cases, you don't have your shit together. It's very hard. Of course, you don't have your shit together, and then on top of it, your SP is with a third party. Holy shit, fucking bananas. If you're not happy with your life, darling loves, as if I haven't said this like a million times over, you gotta fix your life. You think your SP is gonna be like this eureka and Jesus is gonna come from the skies and give you everything you want? No, it ain't. This person, this SP, you created them. So just like you created them in the shitty version, yes, you can recreate it. You can reverse engineer it. That was my other thing that I was gonna follow it up with. Figure out how you created the shitty version who's leaving with the third party, as an example. It could be many different other things. And reverse engineer it. Again, easier said than done, but not impossible. Sorry for the sirens. Reverse engineer it. And so, how would I now, what kind of person do I have to be, basically, is the question, to create a version on par with me? Am I still going to be this begging, chasing, crying person that, even if they don't see you crying, even if they don't see you chasing on social media, they can feel it? That's not attractive. That's not attractive energetically in any shape or form. It's not attractive. Would you be attracted to a person who acts this way? Who would even have the time to look on social media? What the fuck is somebody doing? Why do you give a shit? It's not important. First of all, don't waste your time like that. Don't waste your mind power like that. Why would you look at, let's just say you know they're with a third party. What do you expect to see on their social media? Something else? Right now, that's the state of affairs. Leave the fucking phone down, go take a jog, go exercise, go do something else. Okay. The more you ignore the third party, the more chances of it going away. The more that you reinterpret the situation based on how you want it to progress from this point forward, that's how it's going to go. You hating the third party, you stalking them, and that's what are you in high school? Just ignore it. And they will leave accordingly. It's not the third party's fault they showed up. It's not their fault at all. It's the programming that you're not letting yourself have your SP, your love. Some people come to me, I've been dreaming about this person for 10, 20 years in some cases. Marvelous. All this time, you're not letting yourself have this person. Let's examine why. Nobody's taking this shit away from you. You're not letting yourself have it for some reason. Especially, listen, when it's such an intimate situation, like lots of things can happen in the world and in life and this and that and the other. But when it's a prolonged situation and it's like, the same story over and over and over and over again, it's like you're not loving yourself. Reality is you're not loving yourself enough to offer yourself this something. You're making it, for some reason, you're making it so fucking difficult for yourself that you're even manifesting third parties, and then the third party, you end up hating the third party, and it's like a vicious cycle. Leave all that shit behind. Just forgive everybody. You know how I got over, parenthesis here really quick, I wanted to squeeze this in. I told you a little bit about how I got over manifesting third parties. I just saw them as also confused women, and used to manifest quite a bit of those. But when I started more, and I used to really not like, okay, other women for some time. Okay, very short period of time, but that was my solution. I just didn't trust and didn't like other women. That was me in my mid 20s. But then I realized that's fucking ridiculous. It's not their fault. This is my guy's fault, okay? Or my ex guy. Thank goodness. You have no idea how happy I am that I can say that this is my past now. This is why I'm here, okay? Really trying to inspire you to do the same for yourself. Um, and I realized this is fucking stupid. Why would I hate on some girl? Because she's pretty? Because sh my guy found her appealing? Well, duh, she's appealing. So then what? It's not, the problem is not the girl. The problem is that I'm vibrating as an insecure person and I'm choosing assholes, in my case, who were treating me this way. Okay. And everything was out on the table for me to not choose that, but I went ahead and chose something different. I've had good experiences in my dating, but I sabotaged the shit out of those. Okay, and that's another thing that I feel like I want to mention. Like, I've had really great, definitely couple of relationships that I can recall now, that the guy was an angel, like literally an angel. Like introduced me to his family. I mean, this guy was gonna marry me, all right? In two or three cases I could definitely think of right now. And of course I sabotaged the shit out of it. Because I wasn't used to this adoration. I wasn't used to accepting love. I wasn't used to being the only one. I wasn't used to being introduced to the parents. And it was a lovely home and really lovely parents. And they fucking loved me. And that was my program. Okay, I don't deserve it. I'm going to destroy it. Okay, so that maybe that is you. Right now, you're destroying your own happiness involuntarily, unconsciously, but you're pushing away the very world you say you want to be a part of. You're gonna have to change your tune. Start acting more like the person for whom this situation is not a big fucking deal. SP my fucking ass. I'm more invested in myself. I know how to create. It starts with me, my own energy, my considerations, my ideas about myself. First and foremost, if I'm in tune with myself, if I'm in accord with myself, if I don't find fault with myself, if I truly genuinely come from a loving place towards myself, everything is going to be hunky dory. I just have to figure out my relationship with me and stop being so fucking nasty to myself and so unloving and so criticizing and so you're not good enough and tupa 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 tu. No, you're more than. Can I tell you something? You have my blessing. Everybody here and rewatching later, you have my blessing. I've seen you, like I said. Nothing wrong with you. That you think there's something wrong with you, that's the only thing that's wrong with you.